Hello and welcome back to me and my screwdriver, the only channel that is going to milk Rap Battle Day for the next 50 videos. This is Mysterio versus Baller Hat Guy by Dilly. I quite like Dilly. I don't think I've reacted to him on the channel, but I like a lot of his stuff. I think off the top of my head, you got like Terra versus Chef PP, Steve versus the Engineer. What was the other one? Oh, Krabs versus William Afton, obviously. There's a couple other ones, but off the top of my head, those are the big three for me. And this is Mysterio vs. Baller Hat Guy. I think I already said that. Mysterio, obviously, you know, Marvel villain. Baller Hat Guy, I'm not pretty sure, I know, is Meet the Robinsons, which I've not watched, but I think I know the main plot. I know, like, the main concept of his character. I think I'll be able to pick up on things. Mysterio, to be fair, I'm not that knowledgeable on. I've watched, obviously, at least Far From Home, it's in, right? It's one of the Tom Holland films. I've watched that, you know, good film. Comic appearances, though, I'm not going to be too familiar with, so there's going to be stuff I miss. However, to be fair, when it came to the Freshie battle, Mysterio versus Houdini, right? Yeah, I think Houdini. Some magician. I'm pretty sure it's Houdini. I was pretty decent with catching everything there, so I should be fine here. And yeah, I'm just gonna get into it. Channel will be linked in the description, obviously, for Dilly. Gonna like it because I think I'm gonna like it. Let's be real. It's Dilly. Let's just get into it. Okay. All the rap battle channels do like intros. You had like Fight Marker with his like little like blue guy. Eddie with like the beaver. I am liking it. Okay.
Rap battles. Mysterio versus Baller Hat Guy.
Judging off of that like first thing, I'm assuming this is going to be more based off the movie appearance because of like the drones in the background. I'm judging that's what this is going to be mainly based off of.
Versus Baller Hat Guy. Begin.
Behold, these aren't your average smoking mirror tricks.
Okay.
You make any reflector shatter with that sleazy grin.
Okay.
It's a mistake to draft a matchup between me and him. I become the bowler, and it's one more spot that he won't win.
Okay.
Here's the dealio. You fucked with the wrong Mysterio.
Okay.
Don't pull for you even now. Draw curtains on you like the theater closed.
I am liking the flow and beat here. This is really nice. I'm gonna go back. So I'm catching quite a bit of this already.
Begin.
Behold, these aren't your average smoking.
It's like average smoke and mirror tricks. Obviously, you know, Mysterio is a lot more extravagant, and obviously, you know, like a typical like smoke and mirror. You know, like typically I associate with like a mirror maze. Pretty average sort of like wacky Mysterio stuff. Mysterio is like another level basically.
Mirror tricks. You make any reflector shatter with.
You don't make any reflector shatter with that sleazy grin. Obviously, you know, the whole joke of like you'd make a mirror shatter if you look at it. Kind of a play on that with like his reflectors. Basically saying that they wouldn't work against him because he's so ugly.
That sleazy grin. It's a mistake to draft a matchup between.
And it's a mistake to draft a matchup between me and him. Draft is in, you know, like getting, you know, drafted for like a sports team.
Me and him.
For I become the bowler. Obviously, his name's the Baller Hat Guy, you know, bowler. But bowler is in like, you know, bowling.
I'm the bowler.
And it's one more sport that he won't win because the entire, I think, plot of Meet the Robinsons, is that Baller Hat Guy is his name's like Goob or something. It's Goob, right? And Goob is like really like he messes up in like baseball, and that like ends up kind of like being the reason why he becomes like the Bowler Hat Guy. That's kind of like his villain origin story. And so it's another sport that he won't win. It's another sport that, you know, will like kind of cause him to go like downhill. Okay.
So here's the dealio. You fucked with the wrong Mysterio.
Yep.
Don't pull for you even now. Draw curtains on you like the theater closed.
I draw curtains and you like the theater closed. You know, obviously like Mysterio is kind of like sort of like a magician. I'll say it's like a magician throughout this. That's just an easy way of like putting it. And so obviously that has like links to like a curtain. You know, like being on stage performing. So I draw curtains on you like the theater's closed. Pretty self-explanatory. Okay.
You fucked with the wrong Mysterio. Don't pull for you even now. Draw curtains on you like the theater closed. Strapped in with the elite pros. Slap both sides of your beak, you show.
Okay.
That knows Barbie the one to make your whole team go home.
Okay.
That's implying that you have any friends. Nobody said anything bad about that hat on your head.
Okay.
At the end of this battle, I will control that. In my perfect world, nobody Doris would deliver me my door.
Okay.
I will make you wish that
This is a long verse.
you are now witnessing the greatest feats of humankind.
Okay.
All that you've done in 15 minutes. 'Cause what life do you have if ball is all you really wanted to do with it?
Okay. I'm gonna turn this on just a little bit. Let's go back. Just because I'm always self-conscious, and if you're able to hear me. I think going back too much, going forward too much. Okay. Straps in with the Elite Pros. Slap both sides of your beakish nose. Just making fun of his, design basically. That nose bar be the only. What? Sorry, hold on. That nose bar be the one that make your whole team go home. That nose bar be the one that makes your whole team go home. What's the please? I guess he's just saying that like his team's, his baseball team's gonna see it and then be like, listen to the bar and be like, oh, you got, and then like leave or something. I feel like I'm missing something there. I don't think it's that simple. Obviously, a part of what made him, go into this little evil origin story is the fact that he was somewhat neglected throughout his time. Or even it's not like he didn't have any friends. He just kind of ignored everyone and like made it so that everyone disliked him because he didn't interact with them when they tried to interact with him. But in essence, he didn't really have any friends. Nobody said anything bad about the hat on the head. He's basically saying it's a shock that no one's really insulted you already. And in my perfect world, your buddy Door be delivering my DoorDash. Obviously, Mysterio works with all like his like drones, robots, and also the whole thing of like recently, like delivery companies are trying to make us so like drones are like delivering stuff rather than like actual delivery drivers. So like using like the hat as like his own personal drone. Pretty nice. And then he's got the McDonald's logo in the background, the big M, and it's obviously Mysterio. Got a bit nice bit of a nice little thing there. Yep. All of this pretty self-explanatory, yeah? I can achieve all that you've done in 15 minutes. Because what life do you have is ball is all you really want to do with it. Ball is in, baseball, like, what's your life really like? Is your life really meaningful if all you're doing is playing baseball with it and you're not even good at it? I could do exactly what, because the whole thing is that, like, they go back in time. Goob then, like, actually pays attention and, like, hits, like, the baseball, and that improves his life, It's in essence, the baseball game is what decides his life. It's almost like what it balances on. But also, ball is all you want to do with it. Ball is in, like, bawling tears. Obviously, he feels, like, really sorry for himself for, like, messing that up, and he's, like, it's the reason why he's, his life, like, goes to shit, because he spends too much time crying, bawling. Bit of a nice word for there. Okay. And I think it's going into his verse now, right? Okay. Okay. True, okay. Okay. Why'd you take the floor and what you tell the sinister six that you got bored from introducing children? Nice jump, so go and leak my house too. I'll let you know when I find one. Okay. He's just basically making fun of himself. It's kind of funny. Okay, well, I'll go back. This ball is all you really wanted to do with this. To be amazed, or at the very least surprised. You pick on me because I can see through that. So, prepare to be amazed or at least be surprised. I guess he's doing just that, Usually in a rap battle, you're dissing your opponent. Most of this is him being like, I'm adopted. In fact, I wasn't adopted. I was orphaned. And no one liked me. It's kind of like reflecting how he's like so self-loathing in like the film, I suppose. Okay. Disguise and recognize it. After all, you're similar to me inside. Yes, whilst I struggled, you were given an easy life. And so this whole bit is like, I went through all this shit, but that's because the only reason that you're any better is because your life was so much easier than mine, which I don't remember exactly. I do know some details of like the comics. I've not really read them. I know some details just because I like Marvel, so I've done a little bit of research. But I do remember that, Mysterio was brought up relatively rich. Parents probably paid for your college out of pocket. My parents dropped me at the door like it was not a problem. And he was orphaned. We I think we know this by now.
You were accomplished, had money, and your job was awesome. I never got past the part of getting your done. So
That's so fucking good. I love this.
what's your point? Why'd you take the floor, and what you tell the
So he's kind of saying, like, I'm, so bad. What's the point of wasting your time on me? Why are you doing this? He kind of flipping all the bad shit that's happened to him on, like, Mysterio in a way. Really interesting approach.
Mr. Six?
And what'd you tell the Sinister Six that you got bored? More comic stuff. I'm assuming he was invited to the Sinister Six, which is like, nah, can't be arsed.
From stuntman to
From stuntman to doxing children, obviously the whole thing in Far From Home is that at the end of the film, Mysterio, was it his dying breath? I don't know. Was he dying? I don't actually remember. But it was near the end of the film. He was on the bridge like Spider-Man. Bridge. I'll just call it a bridge for simplicity. He basically put out on phone and was like, hey, Spider-Man's real identity is Peter Parker, because the entire movie, Mysterio was working with Peter before then, flipping on him. So he actually, like, knew Peter Parker's identity and all that, and exposed it to the world.
children. Nice job, so go and leak my house too. I'll let you know when I find one.
It's so dumb, but it's so good.
Till then, continue that malevolent ruse and fight the naked that ends up with more attention than you.
Okay.
Busy teaming with Doris, getting back at all who hated me. Return back to your roots, you drag and drop yourself away from me.
Okay.
Return back to my roots?
Okay, a bit shorter than his. Basically, he was just kind of like, more attention than you. Obviously, Spider-Man's a much more popular villain or much more popular character than Mysterio ever has, I would honestly say until the movie, Mysterio was, like, relatively, like, unknown as, like, a Spider-Man villain.
I'll be busy teaming with Doris, getting back at all who hated me. Return back to your roots, you drag and drop.
Just drag and drop yourself away from me, because obviously he works with, like, the computers and whatnot with, like, he sort of just does, like, real-life CGI Mysterio in the movies. So kind of, like, playing on that.
Yourself away from me. Return back to my roots? Huh? Watch this.
Put up the second wave of drones.
Oh,
Okay.
got it, sir. It's funny you mention roots. Because while we're on the topic, how about we take it back to the day where it...
Hey, different animation style. Is this Luke Roden? I think it might be. It might be Luke Roden. I think this is Luke Roden's animation. I don't know.
Mention roots. Because while we're on the topic, how about we take...
So what he's kind of done is he's gone into, like, the whole, like, I think what he's doing is he's, like, making, like, the illusion with, like, the drones, and so that's caused, like, the art style to change. That's really nice.
Back to the day where it all started. The day you finally processed that you were hot
This is Luke Roden, yes.
garbage. You blame the people around you for it, but
Yeah.
you would halt. For somewhere in that little brain, I'm sure you know it's all your fault.
Okay, yeah.
Can't believe he dropped it. Couldn't have been closer. No wonder your parents opted out for the duo.
Okay.
The fact I wasn't there, though, was a darn shame. Because you're Gooby and you would have been taken out at the ball game.
Okay.
Just a puppet in insignificant feudal world.
Okay.
You had nothing, 'cause that's exactly what you deserve.
Okay.
Head down in the hall, swallowing your dying drop. It's no shrinking illusion, Mike. You're just that tiny and sour.
Okay.
The world is in my hands. I won't need all the help. Nobody left to stop my plans. They'll all be on the shelf.
Uh-huh.
Follow my commands and concede at my helm. Believe in me because you'll never believe in yourself.
Okay. Let's go back. I let that run for, like, basically the entire verse, I'm pretty sure. I think it ended. Let's go back.
Back to the day where it
So how about we take it back today? He's also so he's making, like, the illusions and making it so that bowler hat guy watches the whole, like, baseball event, which is what happened to Meet the Robinsons. Did I watch Meet the Robinsons? I must have. Because I know way too much about this. I can't have just picked this up. I think I've just suppressed the memory of me watching it.
It all started. The day you finally processed that you were hot garbage.
And obviously, that's what I've been talking about this entire time. The baseball game, he, like, messed up and he was just like, okay, my life's fucked.
Blame the people around you for it, but I would
And it's what, like, kind of caused him to be, like, so hateful because he messed up, but then, like, blamed on everyone else and thought, okay, I'm fucked because everyone else isn't such a dickhead to me.
For somewhere in that little brain, I'm sure you know it's all your
I
fault.
can't believe he dropped it. Couldn't have been closer. No wonder your parents opted out for the do-over.
And then it's, like, replaying all, like, the stuff that, like, people said to him.
I wasn't there, though, was a darn shame. Because you're Gooby and you would have been taken out at the ball game.
We've been taken out of the board game. Just saying that, like, it's a shame that I wasn't there because you would have just been taken out. You wouldn't have been at the game in general. I would have been able to save you by just making sure you weren't on the team in general. Taken out of the board game, that feels like it's said in such a specific way it's referencing something. I don't think it's like referencing "Take Me Out at the Ball Game." I don't know why it would be referencing that, but maybe it is. Maybe it is. We'll go with that. And obviously he's like using the puppet analogy because that's somewhat what he does. Mysterio. He had like the whole like Tony Stark like Iron Man thing in the film where he kind of like used that as a way to play with like Peter's emotions. So they're kind of like puppeting Mysterio. And yeah, you know, Bowler Hat Guy, he never really put in like the effort, you know, so why does he deserve everything? He's nothing, it's what he deserves. And yet, oops, sorry. He's saying that, like, you know, he's predicting, like, okay, Mike's thinking that this is some illusion I'm playing, you know, that, like, making him feel smaller, but it's not the case. No, you are just this small on the inside. You are just this insignificant. And also, like, their heads down in the halls. There was this one scene where he's, like, walking down the halls, and there's, like, people trying to talk to him, but he had too much pride to really, like, talk back to them, and it's what kind of led to him becoming more and more just, like, depressed over time. Yep. And basically saying there's going to be a society where I'm like the ruler. You better believe in me, because you'll never believe in yourself. You'll never have yourself to like stand up to me. You have to just trust in me. And I think it's going to be his first now. See, here's the thing, right? Mysterio's cooking. But at the same time, Bowler Hat Guy is just like, yeah, I was adopted. You know, he's like, does it really matter that he's dissing him this hard, you know? Okay. 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 Oh, no, it's all about comic stuff. I'm cooked. Okay. Okay. Oh no, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna try and catch it, but I know I'm missing stuff here. I just know it. You collided with the Daily Bugle for your reputation. I'm trying to remember the movie. Did the Daily Bugle like write nicely about Mysterio? They must have. Oh, because obviously, yeah, because Mysterio acted like the victim at the end of the movie, and then the Daily Bugle wrote like good about him and like bad about Spider-Man. A super industry plant is my implication. Super industry plant because, you know, he just like was instantly kind of thrusted into like the Daily Bugle because of like his running with Spider-Man. But also, again, Mysterio I would not say was that big of a Spider-Man villain originally, so putting him in the movie instantly like raised his like popularity in a sense. And obviously he like gave like information about like Spider-Man and wanting shit to Jameson, so it's like, hey, I've got more for you, and he told him like this and okay. And I'm supposing like every single time he's ever been in like any sort of media, he's lost to Spider-Man, or he's just come off as like this like massive loser dickhead. In the case of Far From Home. And it started yourself ended up with a brain tumor. I'm assuming what happened is he tried to like do some like more stuff with like his like abilities. With using chemicals, and that led to him like getting like a brain tumor. Interesting, okay. And Carl the Robot. I get it. I get what he's saying. You know, he like gave up on himself. You know, because he like I'm assuming because of the brain tumor, trying to get Daredevil to kill him. He just refused to, and so he ended up killing himself. But then Carl the Robot. I don't remember who Carl the Robot is. I'm probably missing something. Maybe that's meant to be like, maybe that's like a patched up hole or something. I don't know. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm assuming so because of then that like next visual. Okay. Pretty self-explanatory. Let's throw you off of Brooklyn next. Throw it down parade. Throw you off of Brooklyn. Was that the place that he was in the fight with Spider-Man at the end? I don't remember. And then you've travelled further back than I, so there's no chance to you moving forward. The whole end of, like, Meet the Robinsons is because, like, Bowler Hat Guy travels back in time to see, like, his former self. So there's no chance you moving forward because you travel back. You travel back in this battle in the sense that I dissed you so hard that you've kind of, like, went back on yourself, so you can't really move forward. Okay. Dilly as Mysterio. So, okay, actually, hold on. Who do I think won? Okay, I'm gonna be honest, right? I think this verse was probably really good. It just comes down to I'm not getting everything because it's comic stuff, and that's just a shame. With Mysterios though, I caught almost I would say almost everything. And so I think I'm proud of myself for catching all that because I didn't think I knew too much about Meet the Robinsons. I think Mysterio won. However, if people break down like some of these bars in the comments, I could definitely be swayed. I'm not gonna lie. So that's basically my analysis on the actual battle. First of all, actually, the beat specifically in this section of like Mysterio, I really liked it. It really like made everything you're saying felt a lot more impactful. A lot of the visuals were really cool. The animation switch when it was like the illusion segment, and then just like everything else in general looked really nice. Overall, just very well produced battle. Really liked it. Again, Dilly's channel will be in the description. I'm going to go through and do my thing where I thank literally everyone. So thank you to Dilly Scott, who played Mysterio. The Stupendium, who was the bowler hat guy. I'm so weird, right? Whenever I can't see like the person's face, I just cannot recognize their voice. Like now it's like, yeah, obviously that's Stupendium. Obviously. But I just never recognize it. Tiger Tonic as Mysterio's assistant, Caden Crane as Basketball Kid number 1, Snakebite 126, and Garbage Gothic, all thanks to you. And then thank you to as well Dilly Scott, who wrote and directed it. Also did the outro illustrations. Thank you to Dilly Scott again, and Power of Dan, who did the storyboard. Thank you to Power of Dan, who did the editing. Thank you to Fresh Enough for the instrumental. Thank you to Gaming Plush and Fresh Enough for the mix and mastering. Of course, Fresh was on mixing and mastering, he always is. Thank you to Power of Dan for additional vocal help. Thank you to Freeble for Mysterio illusions. Illustrations, sorry. Luke Reardon for the bowler hat illustrations, of course. Tret Tunes for the Doc Ock illustration. Was that in this section? It's about here, right? Yeah, there. Cool. Luke Reardon for the basketball scene, obviously. I know when it's Luke Reardon. Thank you to Cyan Coat and Tret Tunes for the Rap Battle Mysterio variants illustration. Oh, yeah, the bit here. Oh, that's meant to be also, sorry, whenever Mysterio's in a rap battle, he always seems to lose, which I would relatively agree with. I think there was Psycho Mantis versus Mysterio, which I think Psycho Mantis won. And then also Houdini versus Mysterio, which I think was close. I kind of lean more towards Mysterio, but I can definitely see why someone would say Houdini won. I don't know what the other ones were, but yeah, okay. That's an extra thing I didn't catch before. JPEG, dogs, for the color sequence illustration. Thank you to Freeple and Luke Reardon for the backgrounds. Paradigm for the additional backgrounds. And additional comic books obviously taken from Marvel Comics Deadpool Volume 2, Number 7. And there's the Patreon, you can read this all. Very nice battle. Really liked that one, actually. Great battle, even. I think I've said everything then. You know, I said why I like who I thought won, what I liked about certain aspects of the battle. Best verse definitely goes to second Mysterio, 100%. Funniest verse though, holy. The constant references to just like I wasn't even adopted. I was orphaned. My parents didn't like me. It's just funny. Come on. I think though, but also I like how it. Sorry, I'm doing more analysis when I said I wasn't going to. I like how it was like more like beating down on himself, you know, and then he was a lot more confident here, you know, actually like trying, you know, which reflects the movie, you know. I like that. So I think that's everything I've got to say. Again, shout out to Dilly. Channel description and the battle itself will be in the description. If I forget to do the battle itself, then it's the first video on his channel. I'll always link the channel. like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to become a little screw that I'll use to build my next channel, build my next table with. And with that, I think that's everything. Fucking see ya.